Welcome to this introduction to AdGooroo Trademark Insight. In this session I'll show you what search engine trademark infringement is, techniques that competitors or affiliates may use to hijack traffic from your site, ways they may try to avoid detection, and an overview of the steps you can take to stop it from happening. First, let's talk about why someone might want to infringe on your brand terms in their search engine campaigns. Most likely you've invested considerable time and resources in your brand. When you achieve a certain level of brand awareness, people will search for your brand on the search engines. Ideally, they find your site. These visitors are both highly qualified and highly profitable. However, unscrupulous competitors eventually catch on to this and often attempt to make use of your brand to drive these visitors to their own sites. This nets them a steady stream of customers at your expense. The first way they do this is by simply placing an ad on your brand name. They do this by adding your brand name to their pay-per-click advertising account and then bidding on it. Sooner or later, their ad appears and a certain number of people will click on it. We call this a bidding incident. The second way a competitor may attempt to profit from your brand is by using it within their ad copy. They may be doing this not only for ads targeting your brand name, but for hundreds or even thousands of other keyword phrases as well. This is particularly likely if you have a well-known or highly recognizable brand. We call this an ad copy incident. These practices, unless authorized by you, may be considered trademark infringement. In general, the search engines are reluctant to take any action to prevent this from happening, so the burden falls on you to pursue competitors and affiliates who are making use of your brand terms. It's important that you do so. Aside from the revenue you may be losing to competitors, you have the legal obligation to police and protect your trademarks from unauthorized usage. Failing to do so can result in forfeiting your rights to the trademark. The steps you take depend on your local laws. In general, however, they follow this process. Step 1. Identify and document trademark infringement. The extreme number of keywords and competitors on the search engines make this impossible to do by hand, so you'll need a tool like AdGooroo Trademark Insight for this purpose. Step 2. Send a courtesy notice to remove infringing material. Although not strictly required by the law, sending a polite courtesy letter to a competitor or affiliate will usually result in the voluntary removal of the offending ad. Step 3. A cease and desist letter. This is a formal notice to remove the infringing material. This should be conducted only under the guidance of your attorney. Step 4. Litigation. Very few trademark infringement cases actually go to court, but should you decide to pursue this step, comprehensive historical documentation is a must. Few competitors are willing to spend money in attorney's fees to defend themselves, which means that virtually all trademark infringement is settled voluntarily at Step 2. This makes finding potential trademark infringement the most critical step in the process. In other words, if you aren't aware of the ad, then there's little you can do about it. It doesn't make sense to keep an ad up once you've been caught, so savvy competitors and affiliates try to avoid being detected in the first place. The first way they do this is through geotargeting. If they know the location of your corporate headquarters, then your competitor may simply turn off advertising in your area. By doing so, they stand a better chance of your not seeing their ads. AdGooroo Trademark Insight defeats this because we maintain servers in multiple locations in every country we monitor. A competitor would need to shut off virtually all of their advertising to avoid being picked up by our servers. The second way they try to avoid detection is by showing their ads only during off hours. This is called day parting. Again, this doesn't work with Trademark Insight because we monitor for advertising 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And unlike competing products who may scan your keywords only once or twice a day, our relationships with the search engines allow us to monitor your terms 12 or more times a day. The final technique that competitors will use to avoid being caught is through the use of advanced matching techniques, such as phrase, exact, or negative exact matching. Most brand managers will search for competing ads by typing their brand names into the search engines. However, prospective visitors may use longer phrases, such as Acme website or Acme reviews. If you haven't been checking variants such as these, you may be surprised to learn just how many competitors are successfully targeting these terms. Now that we're caught up on how trademark infringement works on the search engines, proceed to part 2. There I'll show you how to use Trademark Insight to monitor your brand.